大丈夫？
うん。
うん。じゃあ、始めようか。Okay, hello, Yamato. Let's start the interview. Firstly, please introduce yourself briefly.
My name is Yamato Hashi, and I'm a senior attending Plainfield Bethpage JFK High School. I've been living in the United States for about 15 years since I moved here from Japan when I was 2 years old. And my hobbies include music, such as playing the trumpet and the violin, but it also includes sports like volleyball and basketball.
Um, what do you do in a weekend?
During the weekend, I like to spend time with my friends outside. We usually go to the nearby park to play basketball or volleyball, which is one of my favorite things to do. It's also very fun to just talk with them, since they all have different experiences and come from different places.
Okay. Why did you apply to the IUPS program at Osaka University?
I applied to IUPS because it was a unique program that allowed for a diverse community to be fostered. I think that from my experiences in the United States, I feel that there's a lot to learn from people from different backgrounds and people who are from different countries. And therefore, I think IUPS is a beneficial place and has a beneficial education system from which I could learn a lot from.
Um, okay. How did the living in the United States for 15 years shape you?
Living in the United States has allowed me to gain more perspectives, mainly on different, I guess, points of views around the world. Of course, a diverse community is held in the United States no matter where you go. No matter where you go, you see people from different cultures and different backgrounds. And this has allowed me to learn more about the cultures themselves, but also how to interact with them and how to kind of learn to accept and learn from them.
Um, what would be the most impressive um, memory or the event that you heard in the United States?
The most impressive memory would be, I guess we could say the most impressive memory is about trying out for the volleyball team, because trying out for 3 years in high school, I couldn't make the team, but in my last year, I was able to make the team. And this, I guess, is the most impressive. It kind of speaks to my hard work and dedication that I put into making the team.
Um, then why do you choose the physics?
I chose physics because it's the most interesting subject that I've taken in high school. The reason being that it was different from all the other subjects that I've taken in the past, like chemistry or biology. The reason for this being that physics is surrounded or has a core component in mathematics, and I was intrigued by the kind of inert and inherent purpose of physics to prove complex phenomena of the world through logical and numerical equations.
Okay. What area of physics that interested you most?
The area of physics that interests me the most would be about sound waves. The reason being that I'm very interested in music, both playing and listening to music. And also, I find it an interesting topic within the acoustics area of music would be to kind of use sound waves and its vibrations and convert that mechanical energy into electrical energy to potentially use as a new source of renewable energy.
Okay. Okay. What was your favorite experiment? What was your favorite physics experiment in high school?
My favorite physics experiment was about centripetal force. Our teacher made a contraption that could spin a container in which we placed a Lego figure. And in the container, we placed a Lego figure and spun it at a certain velocity, allowing us to calculate the normal force provided by the wall and the resulting centripetal force provided by the spinning motion. And this was interesting because it allowed us to actually and visually observe centripetal force, which is not something you could regularly observe.
Okay. Um, I think that you had some experience. I mean that you had some failure in an experiment. Um, how would you reduce the measurement error in an experiment?
In an experiment, you could reduce measurement error by running the trial or the experiment multiple times and taking the average, or you can completely reconstruct the experiment into something newer to kind of alleviate some of that human error or possible errors that that was affecting the results.
Okay. When you have a failure or the error or an error, how would you respond to?
I'd respond to errors by going back into the data sets and the data tables and seeing what outliers there were and potential causes of that outlier. If these outliers were the result of human error, then we would run the experiments again. And if they were result of inherent environmental factors, then we would have to change the experiment wholly.
What is the differences between precision and accuracy?
Well, precision is about getting consistent results and results that are close together numerically in across multiple trials, while accuracy is getting results that are close to the actual accepted value. So accuracy measures correctness, while precision measures consistency.
Do you want to pursue graduate studies? If so, why?
I would like to pursue graduate studies because there's still a lot that I want to research, a lot more that I want to do to expand my knowledge base. As of now, I only have the high school level of physics, and my physics teacher told me that, or told our class that the high school level of physics is practically useless in the frontier of physics or the frontier of discovery. So I would like to use graduate school as an opportunity to learn further about physics and expand my knowledge base in order to have a opportunity or a chance to potentially contribute to pushing the limits of our boundaries per se.
Okay. What kind of research would you like to do in future? I mean that in a college or graduate studies.
I would like to research about the string theory and the quantum field theory, which is led by Professor Nishioka. His group researches on the quantum field theory as well as the string theory. And I would want to research those theories because those theories are the closest theories we have to the theory of everything. The quantum field theory is experimentally proved, and the string theory is still, although hypothetical. I think understanding both theories even further and potentially even experimentally proving the string theory will allow us to advance as humans to newer technology and newer newer boundaries.
Okay. I think that you mentioned earlier that you are interested in a sound wave. Um, the, what do you think that how it is your the interest or the experience in a sound wave in physics will be contributing to the future research that you want to do, as you mentioned just right now?
Well, the connection I could see
Mm,
is through the string theory. The string theory postulates that all particles, all subatomic particles are made from strings that vibrate in a certain way, each each vibrating in a certain way or different orientation, which allows for the different particles. And I could see this connecting to, I guess, sound waves since strings on an instrument or strings that make sound and vibrations come from vibrating strings, which are very similar to the strings proposed in the string theory. And perhaps even understanding more about the musical strings and the acoustics of those strings will help us further advance the string theory in a more efficient manner.
thank you. What do you want to do after the graduate studies?
At graduate studies, I would like to further expand my knowledge base on the string theory and quantum field theory. By understanding these theories better, we could kind of push the boundaries of physics discovery and physics research. And understanding these theories are very prominent in the world today as quantum computers and new technology that utilizes the quantum principles are coming about, and those would exponentially grow our capabilities.
Okay. Um, okay. What do you think? What would be the most important quality of researcher?
The most important quality of researchers is likely their ability to share their discoveries with the outside world. Researchers and also collaborate with the people of the outside world. I think this is important because there's a lot that you can learn from other minds and other people, and being able to have those communication skills to learn from others would not only allow you to advance your research in a better manner, but also kind of train your skills to later on share those research, I guess, discoveries to a larger group of people so more people could benefit and maybe even add on to it.
Um, what do you think of working for a non-commercial company?
I think that working for a commercial company would limit my abilities to expand my knowledge base in a more open manner since commercial companies are more focused on profit rather than simply expanding the knowledge base that we have. And this conflicts with my goals since not all physics knowledge that we discover is going to be profitable necessarily. And but still it would never hurt to expand that knowledge base either.
Okay. What do you want to be in 10 years later? What will be the goal or the dream for the next 10 years?
For the next 10 years, I hope to be able to contribute greatly to the field of physics, especially theoretical physics and quantum mechanics, to further understand our universe in a better way. As of now, I only have a superficial understanding of both the quantum field theory and the string theory. But hopefully, in 10 years, I would be able to know these theories better, understand them better, and even contribute to them. And as a result, advancing technologies like the quantum computers that would help the entire human population.
Great. Um, okay. Let me ask about your background. That since that you have been spending more than 15 years in the United States, why do you want to study in Japan now?
I'd like to study in Japan now since I feel like I could make a greater contribution there than in America. In Japan, I feel that there are many useful discoveries or useful advancements, but the country lacks the ability to doesn't lack, but doesn't have a strength in the ability to kind of propagate or share that knowledge to other people due to the language barrier or because we're not used to interacting with other countries. So I think with my experience in the United States, spending time with people of all different countries and learning how to best interact with them and best come up with a conclusion together in cooperation, I think I could not only spread the knowledge that lies in Japan to the outside world, but also take away from or learn from other countries and use that information to benefit Japan as a country itself.
What differences do you see in Japanese education and United States American education?
The biggest difference I see in is that in America you could take more advanced classes such as AP classes or honors courses to fulfill your ambitious ambitions for learning, but in Japan students don't really have that opportunity as much. And I think that this experience that I spent in America taking AP classes, college level courses, was extremely beneficial for my learning since it taught me the rigor of college work, and allowed me to learn at a higher level.
How were you able to adapt the studying in Japan?
I don't necessarily think that I need to adapt as much as maybe other students in into Japanese education. The reason being that while the entire time I was in America, I've been attending Japanese Saturday school for the same about 15 years. And in Japanese school, we learned about the Japanese curriculum and we learned with the Japanese curriculum based on grade. So I don't think that it would be as difficult as maybe coming from a different country without having that Japanese knowledge.
What did you see any differences in a typical Japanese students and American student?
Well, the biggest difference I see is diversity. Uh, in American schools and among American groups of students, you don't just see the Americans in those groups, you also see people from different countries who immigrated to the United States. But in Japan, you tend to see only Japanese people in a certain group. And this difference has allowed me to kind of understand how to interact with people of different countries and how to come up with I guess, a viable solution that accounts for all the different types of perspectives. Hopefully, I could use that knowledge or use that experience to in the IUPS environment and help my peers to better integrate into the Japanese education system.
Did you see any differences in the behaviors of Japanese students and American?
I don't see much differences, but the biggest difference would be, I would say, about cultural norms. This doesn't really relate to the learning environment or physics, but even when I plan certain events with my friends to play basketball outside, we have to account for the fact that we all eat dinner at different times due to the cultural norm of everyone. Everyone has different, I guess, cultural norms, and we have to account for the fact that maybe one friend is regularly eats at 10 o'clock, while another eats at 6 o'clock. So those differences has allowed me to kind of better understand and better respond to the different circumstances that may exist in a more diverse group.
Um, Let me ask about your personal things. Now, what is your biggest strength?
My biggest strength would be my hard work. For example, going back to the story about the volleyball team, each rejection was difficult. Every year was difficult, but working out my legs to get a higher jump and going to the nearby school to train my passing skills on the walls, doing stuff like that, and the determination and the hard work that I had really paid off when I got on the team in the 4th year. So that would be a strength that I have.
So on the other hand, what would be the opportunity that you can improve going forward?
An aspect of my character that I could improve the most on is likely my stubbornness. In many instances, I dislike admitting that I am incorrect. Even in physics labs, I tend to kind of block myself out from what my peers have to say. Their if their method contradicts mine, and that kind of limits my growth and potential learning opportunities. So I've been trying to be more careful about kind of putting myself into other people's shoes and viewing myself from third person to not miss out on that learning opportunity.
Okay. How do you handle the disagreement in a scientific discussion?
In a scientific discussion, I would handle disagreement by trying to understand their method of coming about to a conclusion. Often, the conclusions that we come to are different because one of us made a mistake in the calculations. I remember one time that my friend and I were calculating something. I think it was an angle that would stop a block from falling on a certain surface, but we were calculating that angle and we came to different answers, and once we looked over each other's work, we found the mistake and we were able to use that as a learning experience.
Yeah. Um, what recent scientific news interests you?
A recent scientific news article that interested me was about AI helping a theoretical physicist solve a problem that he was having trouble with for a long time. Uh, and the AI helped him solve the problem in a whopping 11 or 12 minutes. And I think this was very impressive since it opens up the path for us to utilize AI as a strong tool to advance further about physics. And it kind of allows us to reach further since AI has a larger memory capacity than humans can and could access more quickly and more efficiently theorems which are essential to discovering and proving certain laws.
Okay. Um, that's all from us. Do you have any questions? I trust.
One question
Mm.
I have would be a research article that I should read to better understand the quantum mechanic world, such as quantum field theory and the string theory.
Yeah, that's all from us. Thank you for your time. The interview is over, and the final result will be notified by the end of March. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. 今のでちょうど30分だね。
あ
で、大体いいんじゃない？なんとなく、特に最初の方が喋ってるのは良くなった気がするけど、
あ、
物理の話とかその辺のやつは。
うん、
で、ちょっとやっぱ話してるうちにこうなっちゃうのと、あと全体的になんか目がこの左下の方を向いてる気がするんだけど。だからここの
あ、
カメラのこのレンズを見てないと、基本的に。
あ、
見て喋るってないと、なんかこの画面を見てなんか喋ってるように見えちゃうから。
あ、
まあずっとここを見てる必要はないけど、考えるときに上見たりとかってのあるのかもしれないけど、基本的にはこの、カメラを見て喋るっていうのを意識した方がいいと思う。
あ、
ちょっとさ、椅子を下げてみたらいいかも。山ちゃん、なんかカメラの角度が前のめりになってない椅子下げてごらん、ちょっと。の方が落ち着いて喋れる。もうちょっとこっち側に来る。
うんまあ、それでいいかな。
うん、
ネクタイが少し曲がってるから後で。まあ、今はいいけど、後で直してもらってやるときは。
うん、
だから、ここに見るときはカメラを見て喋るのをもうちょっと意識した方がいいかな。
これ
あ、
うん。これはダメだよ。それ
うん、
で、そうだな。あとは、声のトーンとかスピードはいいと思うんだけど、
うん、
あとはもうちょっと表情が豊かでもいいんじゃないのって思うけ
うん、
ど、もうちょっとにこやかな感じで喋っても、
うん、
特に自分が得意なことを喋るときは。
うん、
で、内容はそんなにおかしくないと思うんだけど、うん。だからあとはどうやってそのコントリビュートできる、あるいはそのなんで日本なのあたりが、もうちょっと強く出るといいんじゃないかなっていう気がして、特になんで大阪大学、なんで日本で学ばなきゃいけないの？大阪大学のために何ができるのみたいな質問が来たときは、
うん、
特に自分がそのアメリカと日本って両方で学んでるっていうところをもうちょっとアピールしてもいいんじゃないかなと思うかな。ただ単純にその学校のプログラムがそういうのに合ってるとか、自分がダイバーシティっていうかそういう環境の中で生きてきたって、まあそれはもちろんそうなんだけど、逆にその日本人である強みを活かせるっていうところ、要はその海外から来た人を助けられるよ、サポートできるよ。そうすると彼らの大学生活が充実するはずだ。彼らの大学生活が充実するってことは大阪大学にとってもいいことだ。
うん、
っていうあたりを言ってもいいんじゃないかなって思った。
あ、
よいとか、あとは、そう、その日本でやるから自分が任せられるリーダーシップを取るみたいな場面が増えるんじゃないか。
うん、
そういうのが、まあ、今、弱みのところではそういう話はなかったけど、逆にそういうことでリーダーシップみたいな力をつけられるところは、 自分の将来のためにすごく役に立つとか。
あ
それはきっとアメリカの大学行くよりも、オポチュニティがあるっていうのは言ってもいいんじゃないかなっていう気がしたかな。どうそういうのは。
いいと思う。
うん。ぐらいかな。うん。あと、これ、父さんの質問の仕方が悪かったかもしれないけど、そのアメリカの生徒と日本の生徒の違いみたいなところは、なんかその、勉強の仕方なり、そのグループワークの仕方で違いがあるかみたいなところを聞きたかったんだけど。まあ、
あ
別になきゃないでいいんだけど、多分、一般的なパーセプションは日本の方が、なんとなくチームワークが良くてうまくやってるみたいなところがあると思うけど、まあ別にそんなことがなければ、逆に、みんなはそう言うけど、僕はそう思わなかったって言えばいいと思
あ
う。で、意外になんかみんな違うように言うけど、僕から見るとあまり違いがないように思うでいいと思うけど。ただそれよりもそういう、なんかさっき言ったその文化的な違いのことを考えなきゃいけないっていう、そこがやっぱり一番大変なり、苦労するのか気を使うのか、
うん。
そういうところだっていうならそれでいいと思う。
うん。
ぐらいかな。まあいいんじゃないの。あとは、だからちゃんとカメラ見て、もうちょっとこう、少しまあ笑っちゃいけないけど、自信持って、にこやかな感じで話す方がいいんじゃないかなって。
うん。
で、言い忘れちゃったけど、そう。アメリカの大学合格してるのとか言われて、もう持ってるじゃない。うん。で、別に言えばいいし、他にも合格したらどうするのって聞かれたら、別にもう大阪大学行きますって言えばいいから。あんまそこで考えますとか言うと、じゃあこの子来ないかもしれないからいいやとかって思われちゃうと。行きますって言えばいいから。ぐらいかな。で、大丈夫だと思うけど、まあ、ちょっとお父さん、面接の前に帰れるかどうかわかんないから、もし帰れなかったら、頑張ってね。その調子で。
うん。うん。
まあ、もしあれだったら夕方もう一回お母さんに見てもらってもいいと思うし、
うん。
自分が話すだけ聞いてもらって。
うん。
うん。やっぱ話した方が頭に入るから。
うん。
で、スラスラ本番でも話せるようになると思うから。
うん。